you a few minutes. It's lovely, all right. Well, folks, it's my pleasure now to have a chat to a fella who's very well requested on the show, Raymond Froggatt. Raymond, it's great having you down in London.
Thanks very much, Phil.
Travelled down today from Birmingham.
Yeah, and all the rain on the M25 and M1.
But when you arrived here, the sun came out.
Well, it did. I mean, I think it's so nice to be here as well. Well, where are we?
We're in a place called Hornchurch in Essex.
Hornchurch, I know. I used to do a gig down there 100 years ago. Down by, I forget what...
Queen's Theatre might have been?
Yeah, there was a little theatre here.
Yeah, there's a place called the Queen's Theatre.
Oh, well, we've done that.
Raymond and that. So you're now in what they call the heart of Essex.
Ah.
You know,
So,
you've heard of the Essex Girls?
Yeah, sure. But you're an Essex lad, aren't you?
Essex Island, do you know what I mean? No one can quite work me out with between Donegal, Mayo and Essex.
Well, I've known a lot of Essex people. There's a lot of Essex girls and boys in our businesses, you know.
That's right, yeah.
You know, in the PR department. They know how to PR people.
They do indeed. Now, getting on to that, Raymond, your career's been a fabulous career. We had a great chat earlier on over tea and cakes in there.
Yeah.
And as I said, Raymond, you've got another busy year ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, I always have. I mean, I was lucky in the early 60s. I mean, the music publishers were sort of publishing anybody who could write a song because you might have been the next Beatles.
That's right, correct.
So I was signed up, not by an English company, by a Canadian company called Edwin H. Morris, who had an office in London. And eventually I wrote the biggest song I wrote was the Red Balloon for that company, and because that sort of gave me a name then within the business.
20 million copies sold.
That's right, worldwide, and there was also. It was translated into 16 different languages and recorded by, you know, stars that you and I had never heard of. You know, like Japanese people, stars. Who were, you know, unknown to us, but they're big stars in their own country. So, and Edwin H. Morris is dead now, but he was a Canadian army man. But he said, I don't know what he meant by it, but he said, my music seems to travel well.
Well, it does, and Raymond, and on the show, you know, you write these kind of story songs, people love them, we get requests in all the time, and I said, you're featured in a lot of our shows, but you've got a lovely affiliation since you've been to Ireland for the last 3 years. You love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it's fantastic. I suppose all of us over here has got some kind of connection with Ireland somewhere, but I know that my Granny Sullivan, she was from Cork. And I remember I spent most of my childhood living with Granny Sullivan, and I learned a lot of the Irish songs because of her. She would sing them to me, and I think now, as I think back, I probably got my love of music from an Irish lady. You know, all them years ago. I remember singing these songs, and when I heard them for the second time, they were usually being sung by the Dubliners.
Yeah.
who I eventually met, and I got to be pals, you know, with Ronnie. I was a pal of Ronnie's, and whenever they come, I would go and see them, you know. And I think most of them have died now, and they, Ronnie, and the banjo player Barney. I think he's dead. But what a great band they was.
They were indeed, as said, but their music lives on, as you say, like yours will after you're gone and I'm gone. Music lives on.
That's what you hope about songwriting. I mean, if you're a songwriter, you can't let the lack of what you think is a lack of success is a front on your own art. I mean, your music, if you're a songwriter, will find its own level in this business, and eventually. Our business is a business of dreams, and if you let your dreams wound you, then you really ain't in the music business.
That's correct.
Because you know, you're going to get hurt along the way, especially if you think nobody cares about your stuff.
Well, listen, folks, with Raymond, he's so requested on the show, we're going to lead in now to one of his songs. It's actually my favourite song of Raymond's. But while you're watching this, you're also going to see an extended interview with Raymond on our website. So let's take a look now at one of his best songs, you know, that I personally think. Raymond knows the song. I'm always written, I believe, with Tammy Wynette. You always sang it for Tammy Wynette. I
did, yeah. Tammy loved the song, and I did about 5 or 6 tours with Tammy whenever she came to Europe. She was asked me to accompany on the tours. We became good mates in the end, and I remember that she loved this song. because she said it reminded her of her own life, and I suppose in many ways it reminds a lot of us of our own lives, because it's a simple thing, the simple things of love and affection and memories, and all of the things that make getting up in the morning worthwhile, you know, the ordinary personal things of our lives, just knowing each other, and to think that throughout all of the years that you've lived together, and all of the things that you've been through, the dark side and the bright things, you did it all for you.
Yep, so here we take a look at I Did It All With You, and the next time you see myself and Raymond in Ireland will be at Cabra Castle in September. See also this extended interview on our website, philmackcountry.com.
Funny things that keep our hearts apart. A certain look, and then the loving starts. We all laugh among the tears and blue. I did it all with you. Walking up and down an empty room. For all we know, might just be over soon. Golden together things that lovers do. I did it all with you. I did it all with you. I made every turn with you. I lived every page. It's true, isn't life strange? I did it all with you. That's all I wanted to. Somewhere we'll take all of the blue out of the rain. Foolish things we did were meant to be. They live forever in my memory. All of the love and winter Christmas trees. I did it all with you. And all the world is changing every day. Some are here and some are gone away. When life is over, then I'll say I did it all with you. I did it all with you. I made every turn with you. I lived every page. It's true, isn't life strange? I did it all with you. That's all I ever wanted to. Somewhere we'll take all of the blue out of the rain. Young man. Foolish things we did were meant to be. They live forever in my memory. Then came the kids and winter Christmas trees. I did it all with you. and all the world is changing every day. Some are here and time is gone away. When life is over, then I'll say I did it all with you. I did it all with you. I made every turn with you. I lived every single page. It's true, isn't life strange? I did it all with you. That's all I ever wanted to. Somewhere we'll take all of the blue out of the rain. Somewhere we will take all of the blue and get it out of the rain.
Well, folks, as promised, this is the extended interview. We've got Raymond Froggatt with us down here in Essex. You've seen part of the interview on the Phil Mack show, but lots more. Raymond's got so many stories. Now, one of the stories I'm interested in, Raymond, is you have, over the years, you've met everybody, haven't you? Like, you know, everybody. You would say Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I was a friend
fabulous.
of Johnny's, yeah.
Waylon Jennings. Yeah. You know, but an interesting little story was Mark Bolan.
Yeah, lovely little Mark.
Now, people wouldn't perhaps associate so much to yourself about Mark Bolan, but an interesting story of something that Mark Bolan said to you.
Many years ago.
I mean, tell us a little story there.
Well, Mark was always, he was one of those people that in the early days, the business wounded him, you see, because Mark Bolan was genuinely, truly a great rock star. There was no doubt about that. And he knew how to be a star as well. And he looked every part of it.
Yep.
And he was a fashion starter. He was a great singer. And he was a wonderful writer as well. But in the early days, he wasn't having much luck, like most of us. You know? And he said to me one day, I don't know, I'm working so hard that if I get killed in a car crash, it'll be in a Mini instead of a Rolls Royce. And many years later, of course, he'd named his own demise because he did get killed in a Mini. And he could have had 6 Rolls Royces, you know. So he named his own demise there. And I always felt, I was in America at the time when I heard about that. So it was very sad to think that. But then again, having thought about Mark and the sort of person he was, I don't think he could have managed to live by not being Mark Bolan, the star. I think, like us all, you have your turn and then other young people take over.
And I didn't realise, when you were telling me the story, I also didn't realise that one of his songs, Telegram Sam, Froggy gets a mentioning. Can you remember the line, Froggy?
Yeah, Froggy's all right. Froggy's all right. He's a natural born poet and he's just out of sight.
Now, there you go.
God bless him.
So there you go. I look at that song differently now. Sometimes you listen to songs, you don't always listen to every single word. You do this Raymond songs, it's a story. But he was very much a rock star, wasn't he, in the end of Mark?
He was a great rock star. I mean, he wasn't just a fella who had a few hits. You know, he was... I listened to the young rock young people now, and you can hear Mark Bolan's music in that. You know, in the rhythms, certain rhythms that he played that was natural to him. You know, and what I saw in Mark then, I see, you know, that young singer you have, Ben Troy.
Young Ben Troy,
I see that same kind of quality of lyric. That they have an inner knowledge of lyrics.
And you've known, like Ben, as you know, for the last 4 years, really, on our shows.
Since he was a young boy.
So really, yes, you're 13, as you say, he's up to 16, 17 now.
That's right.
And Raymond has always predicted a very big future for Ben, played in the shows. And I've got to say that wasn't too aware in the early days, but since then, he's come right the way through, and he's becoming a star in his own right now.
Yeah, and I mean, young Ben, he will never owe anybody anything, because he's a natural born talent, and he don't just sing a song. He doesn't know what he does yet because he's too young to know, but he has a natural born thing to throw a line away, or to feel a lyric and sing it to people, not just sing the song because he knows the tune, or like someone to karaoke in a pub or something. You know, he doesn't only just know the song, he delivers it to people. So as Ben will sing, like Mark Bolan did, he will enter the heart of the listener, and people, because of his natural talent, will believe that he's singing directly to them.
And also on this theme, Raymond, as I said, this is the first time that myself and Raymond have met outside the working environment of the shows to have a good chat. There's so many stories Raymond's got. Now, one of the points we made today, Raymond, is people go to the shows and they see you, but you yourself said they don't sometimes see the inside Raymond Froggatt. And we brought up about Big Tom, that he's just done this kind of documentary, and it would be great to see a documentary, Raymond, of yourself and your life and the stars you've met, because from Tammy Wynette to Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Ozzy Osbourne, who's a friend of yours. So many great stories that people would love to see. Have you thought of doing a documentary?
Well, H is always telling me to do that, and I suppose we better hurry up because, you know, I'm in my late 30s, you know, so, you know, before you know it, I'll be under the clay. So if we're going to do something, you better be quick. Yeah,
because we say, we know so-and-so, so-and-so, a lot of them have passed away, haven't they? A lot of the stars now. And, and it's great that people go to you, and we were talking about the shows you put on. It's always standing ovations. You've got your signature tunes, you know, when you finish the show, etc. Everyone's up, they're clapping, they've got the banners, etc. But it would be great to go a little bit behind the scenes.
Well, I think that would be. If people are interested in some things, I know I am myself. You know, if I'm watching something about somebody I admire, like in the business, it's nice to know, you know, how they get through their ordinary day. But we're all the same. I mean, you know, Elvis, whoever you are, you know, you've all got a time when you're not on the stage and under the lights, and in your life. This is a time-consuming business, as you know. But in our lives, there's only so much time. So we probably have a smaller amount of proper time to spend outside the light part, and that's why people find it quite nice to know what you do in that.
And as I was saying, Raymond, today there, you do jet off a few places, don't you? You said to me, get on a plane.
I go to America anytime I feel like it. I'll go over and stop with Ozzy maybe for a couple of days in LA, and then I'll go over to, I write for a record in New York, so I sometimes work with, you know, Barbra Streisand. You
were saying Barbra Streisand,
for their companies, and for Malpass, you know, Clint Eastwood's company, you know, he's filming. So with Snuffy Garrett, I do.
So really and truly, it's a very interesting life you've got. And you go to, is it Jersey you go to? You've got a place, is it?
I have a place.
You go to Jersey. But he did say to me today, he's travelled the world, but he says, nothing beats Essex.
Well, especially when it's raining.
The M25. But look, we could talk all night, but I said, I hope you've enjoyed this little extended chat to Raymond. You'll see a lot more of Raymond on the shows. And I said, Cabra Castle and Ireland, a lot of people booking for there. It's more relaxing and it's more my idea this time, because we do travel around a lot. I'm weakening rapidly. Raymond's looking younger, I'm looking older, and I do mean that. Raymond seems to be getting a lot of energy lately.
Well, I think it's the monkey glands, you know. What does it? Well, I mean, during the war, they would take these monkey glands, I believe. And it's supposed to keep you young. But, you know, a bit of suntan on.
Well, I can tell you, look, off the record, at all the shows you come along, and it's always the band, and it's yourself, and it's, as you know, I'm forgetting his name.
Who's that?
H. My mind's going to H is in here. H is upstairs indoors in having a chat. But look, H and I chat a lot. And on some of the first shows, you wasn't too well. You know, you had a problem with your hip, I believe, or your leg or that. And you used to come in, you'd sit down there to go on stage. And I still remember a conversation in Liverpool at the Crown Plaza where I said, Raymond's looking well lately. And H said to me, he's looking too bloody well. He said, I can't keep up with him now, he keeps disappearing. So he preferred it when you were a little bit less mobile, and he would know where you was at a particular time to get on stage.
He could always catch up with me.
He could catch you, but a few times lately he's been looking around for where are you. But look, it's a great life, Raymond. We love having you on the shows. We love having H. The bands are great, I said, and it's brilliant that you've come down to Essex and had a little bit of a time to have a chat today.
It's been my pleasure.
And as I said, in the future, keep an eye on the show, because I'm sure after this little chat today, I'm sure Raymond and H will be looking at sometime in the future making a documentary.
Well, I'd like to do that.
And apart from the music, all the things that go on behind the scenes. And H has got a story and all, isn't he? He goes over to France.
Well, yeah, he's got a place in France, some ranch or other. I've never been to it.
15 wild cats there, he's telling me.
He wants me to go over there. Yeah, there's hundreds of wild cats.
And they all come to H, don't they?
Yeah, he fed them once. He made a mistake. They're all feral cats, but they recognise him, so they just pounce on him.
They come.
And he spends most of the holiday time that he spends over there with his grandchildren, feeding cats. So he wants me to go over there one summer and just make a part of the documentary there.
That's it.
Because he's got his own studio in there as well.
So he's very talented.
And make a few tracks. I've been doing a bit of writing this last month for hopefully some stuff for Ben Troy, and there's something that'll suit him. So we could do some of that over there, maybe.
Be nice, yeah. And as you said, all your fans that are watching, because as you know yourself, you've got this very, very loyal fan base, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, that's worldwide.
Worldwide.
And I mean, you have to be in this business a long, long time to that. I mean, this is mine and H's 52nd year.
52nd year.
In this business. So we've been making records since 1964. And we've been with Polydor Records, Bell Records, Warner Reprise, Jet Records, all manner of...
So many you can't remember them all, yes?
Yeah, so, you know, we've made records in every country in the world, and our music has been in every chart.
Yeah.
We was even number 11 in Lebanon once.
Well, we were saying that today, Raymond. You know, people watching the show, we were talking, giving our ages away, we're both over 30.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the hit parade.
Yeah.
Now, some of the youngsters said to me, the hit parade, what's the hit parade?
I don't know what that is.
The hit parade.
No.
And I said to Raymond, that's when you don't sing well and someone shoots you, the hit That's a joke.
That's right.
No, the hit well, they're talking about hitmen nowadays.
Well, some of the records I've made, you could understand.
So it used to be called the hit parade, and then top of the pops, etc., and hit parade. Yeah. But we were saying that we do laugh at them old terms, the old days, but Ian, who's filming this, actually made a point that the biggest growth industry in modern times recently was in the paper there. People are starting to buy the record players again. That's right, yeah. The old vinyl, you know when you made your records, they were the 45s, weren't they?
We made proper vinyl records. I mean, the first album, well, the last album we made, it was vinyl. Well, I did it at Richard Branson's house.
Yeah.
In Oxford.
They're becoming collector's items. Yeah, people love them.
Yeah, that's right. We call Rogues and Thieves, and we were making in the daytime. Richard's studio was in the barn, much as the same as you got here.
Yeah.
And it was in the daytime we recorded, and on the night time it was making Tubular Bells. You know, Mike Oldfield was doing that. So our record, which was being paid for by Don Harton, you know, Sharon Osbourne's dad.
Yeah.
And he was paying for that, but that was paying for Tubular Bells to be made. So Mike Oldfield's studio time was being paid by our time. We
Got you, with you there,
paying for that. And then, of course, after that, I mean, in them days, Richard had only got one shop in Chepstow Road in London. And from that, Tubular Bells, that great business. That,
Virgin and that. What I'm thinking, Raymond, you're so successful, and you were saying to me earlier, now, this is very interesting. You see Richard Branson, he's got Virgin Airways.
Yes.
Watch out for Froggy Airways.
I couldn't have the hassle. Richard Branson has got an interest in everything that moves.
Yeah.
I mean, music is just one of them.
Yeah.
You know, but his love of music is fantastic because it started off with a record shop and then with Mike Oldfield and the magnificent success of that made with the seeds that grew his wonderful business today. Yeah. So I mean, Richard will never forget that. And I'm sure he also won't forget the money that I paid him to pay for Mike Oldfield's record, which eventually made Virgin. So somewhere along in Virgin, there's a small route in there.
Well, it's interesting when you're talking to Raymond. Look, it's so interesting because you could go on for days because you could go to Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and Tammy Wynette, Richard Branson, Ozzy Osbourne. There's no one that you haven't worked with over the years.
All of them.
But what we're going to say, we hope you've enjoyed this little insight into Raymond. Watch out date perhaps for H and Froggy making a documentary perhaps later this year or early next year, and we'll get all the information. But Raymond, it's been a true pleasure hosting you down here in Essex, and we came in to do a 10-second link, and we've done a good old chat. So Raymond, it's a pleasure meeting you, and don't forget, come and see Raymond on our shows across the UK and also in Ireland. If you see this before September, Raymond will be at Cabra Castle in County Cavan on September the 28th in a luxury setting fit for a king. After then, we'll call him King Froggy.
Wow. Thanks very much, everybody.
See you later.
God bless you.
The more I know, broken hearts don't mend. But I hope you will find the joy in your lives you're looking for, my friends. And when you are cut and you bleed and find you're in need, on me you can depend. Just you pick up your shoes, bring me your blues, and I'll be waiting around the bend. But it was nice to have known you anyway. Don't you know that all dreams like mine die in the same old way? And every time you go, you take my breath away. But it was so nice to have known all of you anyway.